in pink now on your screen, where those warnings stretch from the Tennessee line all through the Triad and into the Triangle. And in the purple, those are the winter weather advisories. Upstate South Carolina, Mecklenburg County, Raleigh, Rocky Mount right on the edge. And so let's get right on over to meteorologist Frank Strait.
As we begin here, we're looking at visible satellite pictures from late Wednesday showing the storm that will be affecting us in the coming 24 to 36 hours, now pushing through the Mississippi Valley and northern Gulf of Mexico. This working with some very cold air that's in place over the nation's midsection. You may have heard it's been extremely cold over the nation's midsection with sub-zero temperatures as far south as the northern part of Texas in recent days. And a lot of snow and ice has been falling there. Coldest I've seen, there have probably been some spots that got colder, but the coldest I've seen is International Falls. A few days ago had a low of 42 below. Now that's a pretty serious cold. It's the coldest they've seen in a long time. This storm's heading eastward, and with this chillier air filtering into the Carolinas, we've escaped the worst of it so far, but we're going to get enough of it again to deal with some icing problems here, mostly in western and central North Carolina over the next 24 to 36 hours. So we'll look at some models here. This is the high-res rapid refresh, the HRRR model, and we'll see this at the current time roughly here with the storm pushing through the middle Mississippi Valley. And as I advance forward in time, you'll see the storm heading eastward, and you'll see the icy conditions spreading across, again, mostly North Carolina. Northern fringe of South Carolina can get in on the action in Oconee, Pickens, Greenville, and Spartanburg counties, maybe sneaking into Cherokee and York County too. But the worst of this is by far going to be in North Carolina, where the usual suspect areas, the Blue Ridge, northern part of the Blue Ridge, especially into the northern foothills and over toward the Triad, have the potential to see a serious ice storm out of this. Now, this model, the 20Z run, only goes out to about 10 a.m. on Thursday, so let's switch to the 3-kilometer NAM, and the correct plot of it here from the 18Z run Wednesday from the 3-kilometer NAM. Again, same start time, and we'll advance this forward, and you'll see again the ice, the freezing rain and sleet spreading into western and central North Carolina mostly, and even over toward the Triangle, Raleigh-Durham area. And as we head through the late day hours of Thursday, starting to get out of the area, but even into Thursday night along the North Carolina-Virginia line, that icy conditions can continue until the storm finally does move out, with temperatures hanging near freezing. It looks like there might be a little bit of northwest flow snow along the North Carolina-Tennessee line in the wake of this storm. Probably not a lot of it. High spots get an inch or two, just flurries elsewhere in western North Carolina. And then as we go into Friday, the storm moves out, and the chillier air starts to press in earnest there. So that's the way it looks. Let's look at the National Weather Service forecast, and what I've shown you so far came from tropicaltidbits.com. We'll switch over to the good folks at pivotalweather.com with their plot of the National Weather Service forecast. What we're looking at here is ice accumulation for our upcoming storm, and it looks to be pretty substantial in some areas. The ice extending as far south as perhaps the Charlotte area. I can see it going a little farther south than this, actually, at least for a time, but it will only be a slight light glaze here, but enough that there can be some icy patches on the elevated road surfaces. And again, that may extend all the way into the northern part of York County, Cherokee County, and areas along and north of I-85 farther west in upstate South Carolina. But by far the worst of it goes into North Carolina. The mountains look to get enough ice accumulation to at least cause some travel problems, especially on those elevated road surfaces and out into the foothills in Piedmont. The potential's there thanks to a deeper and longer lasting cold layer that the ice could be pretty significant. You see some areas up around a half inch of ice accumulation according to the National Weather Service here. And hopefully it doesn't get any worse than that. It's going to be a close call in this area as to whether we're seeing freezing rain or sleet for a lot of this storm. There is some chance that we escape this really bad icing situation here if we end up with a deep enough and cold enough layer here that we end up getting more sleet than forecast. There's a chance that happens, but don't count on it. Prepare for a major ice storm in this area. Half inch of ice accumulation would be a major ice storm that will cause some widespread tree and power line damage in addition to the travel problems that you'll get out of this. And if we end up with those widespread power outages, just the sheer volume of tree and power line damage could result in the power being out for a long time.